All right, good evening, everybody. I think it's time is going to, can't wait until 5:30 to really begin the class. Good evening.
Good evening,
Let me just know. Yes. All right, so today we are going to, let me just share with you the syllabus, or the course outline rather, to see where we are. We're at Unit 2 now, where we're going to look at voice production and breathing and voice production, management of emotional anxiety, components of vocal expression. We looked at the whole listening techniques and all of that. We did that. So now we're here. You're going to get information, but there are a number of techniques that you will also have to do. I'm going to actually share those things in the WhatsApp group right now, so that we can move a little faster, because the information that you really need is not, I'm actually sharing with you from my own training in public speaking. I don't know that Excel has that kind of information. So just tell me if you're seeing anything in the WhatsApp group. Are you seeing anything in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Are you seeing the group?
Yes, sir. We're seeing the photo.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you're seeing the information. Let me go like this now. Not have to really. All right, so the first thing we're going to start, we're going to discuss today is looking at the notion of breathing. And, how do we define the term breathing? How do we define the term breathing? Why are we not talking? Why everybody so silent today? What's wrong? Is something wrong? You seem very silent. All right, so
Sir, breathing is moving. Breathing is air moving in and out of the lung.
you can Google it.
So it says the process of taking air in express from the lungs. So it's taking in air and letting it out.
So it's the process of?
The process of taking air into and letting it out from the lungs.
Okay, so it's the movement of air in and out of the lungs.
Right.
Okay. In what ways do you think breathing affects the ability to produce sound? And again, you can Google.
So it says when you're breathing from your diaphragm, it helps the speaker to strengthen their voice
All
as
right,
to
so
not
once,
speak too much from their throat.
all right, so say that again.
When you're breathing from a diaphragmatic breathing, helps the speaker to strengthen the voice and not to speak too much from the throat.
Okay.
If you're saying that if you speak from the throat, it can create worse.
Okay. Anybody else? How can breathing affects the production of sound? Or how does breathing affect the production of sound? Hello, why are we so silent? Why are we so silent?
Sir,
Is
good
it,
evening.
What's the question, sir?
yes. How can breathing affect the production of sound, whether it be speech or otherwise?
So, sir, I'm reading from Google, and this says we speak on exhalation, and the longer our inhalation, the more words we can produce clearly as we breathe out. In addition, the deeper we breathe in, the more force or louder we can project our.
Okay, so breathing can affect the projection of sound. And I think I actually had shared, let me just go back to something that I was sharing in the WhatsApp. Because I think that's one of the things that was there. That breathing can affect production. So if you see here, it says proper breathing can and will do several things. Increase the power, hence better projection. And projection doesn't mean shouting. That's not what projection means. Allow for better phrasing and improve the tonal quality. So breathing is very important to the speaking voice. And it is for that reason we have to be conscious of our breathing when we are publicly speaking. It's very important. And I'm sure if you are about to give a speech and you run and you know, like you do exercise and you're about to speak to somebody, you're like, and you're not able to as well to articulate or to speak properly because you're somewhat out of breath. All right. So breathing is very, very important because it affects projection, phrasing, and tonal quality. So it's important for us to remember that. Let us do something that, well, oh yes. So let's look also to the mechanisms of proper breathing. So we know inhalation, this is really getting very quote unquote biological in terms of what happens with all the organs that are involved, or the internal organs that are involved in breathing. So the diaphragm, the abdominal walls, and the rib cage, and what happens in terms of inhalation and exhalation. And we don't necessarily have to get into the scientific things, this kind of biological and scientific things that happen. I actually did Cape biology, so I have a bias for science, but what is important is not what happens when you're breathing. It is what is more important is to be able to properly breathe with the purpose of producing sound, whether it be for better projection, better phrasing, and tonal quality, and/or tonal quality. That is what is important. So the other activity, and I'm showing the screen, but I know you have it because it's in the WhatsApp group, is trying to say this in one breath. So you inhale, you say the first one, you inhale, you say the second one. So you're trying to say this in one breath. All right, and that is this is a kind of breathing exercise that will help you to understand and become more conscious of your breathing. All right, I don't know if we can do it as a class because you're not seeing one another, but let us try. So I'm going to just say inhale and then call the word, or call the words or read the sentence. Okay, can we do, let us try it together in one breath. In one breath. Let us see how, if we need to breathe 2 or 3 times by the time we get to the last sentence or the last phrase. Let me know when you're ready. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's all inhale. Read the first sentence.
I
want somebody open them out a while ago. I have 10 students. Let's start again. We all read together. Kumbaya. So let's inhale. Read this. Call the word.
I control my breath and
Listen.
sustain.
Hello. Is the person. I want for you to follow my instructions because clearly you're not listening. You're going to call each line in one breath. You're not reading everything one time. So we're going to go I, then we inhale again. I can control. Then we inhale again. I can control my breath. Then we inhale again. I can control my breath and sustain. Then you inhale again. I can control my breath and sustain my phrasing. Then you inhale again. I can control my breath and sustain my phrasing. I can control. Then you inhale again. I can control my breath and sustain my phrasing. I can control my breath in one breath. Understand now? That's really how you're doing it. So in one breath. Let's start again. So we're going to start from the beginning. Let's inhale. First line.
I
All right. So if your background is extremely noisy, try not to unmute because it's going to interrupt the flow. All right. If it's extremely noisy, let's inhale again. Second line.
I can control.
I heard one person. Are the other persons actually participating?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we're going to go with the second line again. Let's inhale. Second line.
I can control.
Let's inhale again. Third line.
I can
control
control
my
my
breath.
breath and sustain.
Let's inhale again. Let's go for the read the third line for me now. Third line.
I can
I
control
control
my
my
breath.
breath and sustain.
Is it my internet or your internet? Is it my internet or your internet? Because I'm not hearing.
So we are hearing
Let's-
you and we are responding.
No, that's according to you. I am the one listening. I'm listening for a chorus and I'm not hearing a chorus. Because it must come as a chorus. Because if everybody is talking at different points, it means that everybody did not inhale at the same time and everybody is not exhaling at the same time. You're doing it at different intervals and it's very difficult to determine if you're doing it in one breath. All right, so let's go to line 8. Line 8, let's inhale. Line 8. Let's go again. Are you guys listening? Please pay attention. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Line 8, which is the last line. Let's inhale. Last line now.
I
can
can
control
control
my
my
breath
breath
and sustain my
phrasing.
I
I
can control my breath.
All right, so many persons took about 2 breaths in order to read that. How do we pronounce B-R-E-A-T-H? How do we pronounce that word? Breath. No, it's not breath. It's breath. Breath. I need to hear the th at the end. Breath. It's a voiceless TH. Breath. All right, how do we pronounce the P-H-R-A-S-I-N-G? How do we pronounce that word?
Phrasing.
Phrasing. Zing, like king. I need to hear that I-N-G. Phrasing. Right. So the S has a Z sound. Phrasing. Phrasing. Not phrasing. Phrasing. It's important that you are very conscious of how to pronounce the words. That's very, very critical. It's very, very, very critical that you are conscious of your pronunciation. All right. All right, let's look at another activity. All right, so this one now, each person will read it separately. I'm not reading any of them. Let's see what you produce. All right, so take a minute or 2 or 3 or 4, read through them on your own. Look to see where, you know, if the words are difficult for you to pronounce, determine in your mind how you're going to pronounce it, where there are pauses and things like that. All right. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to read through all 3. And then we're going to go through the participants list where each person will finish with number 3. Then we just go back to number 1 and we do that. All right. So I'll give you 5 minutes to read through all 3 so that you can become very familiar with the terms and the words and all of that. And then we again engage in this breathing and articulation exercise. What's the meaning of the term articulation? What does articulation mean? Can somebody tell me what you mean by articulation? You can Google.
Formation of clear and distinct sounds in speech.
So they said, can you put the copy and paste the definition in the chat, please?
Sir, I'm
using the
Sir, it's the
computer
information
for
of
Google
clear
and I'm
distinct
using my
sound.
phone
So copy and paste.
for class.
Definition in the chat, please. I'm not seeing the definition in the chat.
Sir, I was saying to you that, oh, let me type it, sorry.
Search in the chat.
So, okay, so Carrie Brown says the information of clear and distinct sound in speech. The information.
Formation.
Okay, because I was like, so the
The
formation.
formation, sir.
Right. Oh, hold on. Let me claim host because I didn't claim hosts. Give me 1 second. I'm just claiming host because what the. Which I'm doing. Thank you. Can I know? Oh, this is where the cursor is. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to claim host. There. All right, so the Carrie Brown says the formation of clear and distinct sound in speech, and Carrie Sirita says the formation of clear and distinct sounds in speech, which is really the same definition, right? And what this is getting at is that there are articulators that assist us in terms of producing clear and distinct sounds. All right. For example, I know that whenever I'm hungry or too tired, my articulators are not the best. So most times when I want to be at top performance or top speed, especially for an interview, I have to ensure that I sleep, I get enough rest so that my brain settles. When my brain settles, I'm a top performer. Also, there are some words, when you put them all together, if I know that I have a problem pronouncing all those words together, I usually find another word. So this whole notion of breathing and articulation exercises is that the intention is to exercise your articulators, all those quote unquote organs in your mouth, or that form a part of the respiratory system that will assist you in producing or in forming clear and distinct sounds when you speak. All right, so that is the idea. So 5 minutes for you to go through 1, 2, and 3, and then we come back in terms of going now through the participants list, and everybody will be reading, and I will be correcting persons at the end of your reading. All right, so 5 minutes. You have it in the WhatsApp group, but I'll just share back screen. All right, so 5 minutes. All right. I'm sure you had enough time to. So let's start. Sarita. Is Sarita? How do you pronounce this? Sarita?
Sarita.
Sarita. Okay, okay.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
so go for me for number 1.
And the shrill girls giggle and muster around him and squeal as they clutch and trash and he bubblers around away downhill with his patched pants falling and his tear-splashed blush burns all the way as the triumphant sisters scream with buttons in their claws and the bully brothers hoot after him his little nickname and his mother's shame and his father's wickedness with the loose, wild, barefoot women of the hovels of the hills.
All right. So how do we pronounce the word THRASH?
Trash,
How do we pronounce the word FALLING?
falling,
How do we pronounce the word WOMEN?
women,
All right. I am not saying anything yet. Georgette, number 2.
Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the stress, in the slow, deep still and silent black backyard night. Only you can see. In the blinded bedrooms, the corns and the what's this?
Just look like you're seeing the word for the first time. Didn't you use the
Yes,
5 minutes?
sir.
You didn't use the 5 minutes? Do you need 5 more minutes?
Sir, I still stuck on the piece.
No, but you should have Google pronounce it or YouTube pronounce the words. That's what you do when you can't pronounce a word. If you're not sure the pronunciation, you go into Google or you go into YouTube. That's how you do it. Well, try and pronounce it because I'm not telling you.
Okay, sir.
Start from the sentence. Only you can.
Only you can see. In the blinded bedroom, the con. Shh. Jesus. 1 minute, sir.
All right, let Georgia try to sort out her background. She has a very festive family. Junior, go ahead for me, number 3. Junior, are you there? All right, I'm not going to stress myself. Kamalia Harrison, go ahead for me.
So which
Kamalia,
one of them?
number 3.
Number 3.
This is.
Okay. This is the horse and the hound and the horn that belonged to the farmer sowing his corn, that kept the cock that crowed in the morn, that woke the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built.
So, that I didn't hear anything after that.
That killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built.
All right.
Sir, I'm ready now.
All right, go ahead for me, number 2. You're going to start all over.
Okay. Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the streets in the slow, deep, salt and silent black bandaged night. Only you can see in the blinded bedrooms, the corns and petticoats over the chairs, the jugs and basins, the glasses of teeth, thou shalt not on the wall. And the yellowing dicky bird watching pictures of the dead. Only you can hear and see behind the eyes of the sleepers, and movements and countries and mazes and colors and dismays and rainbows and tunes and wishes and flight and fall and despairs and the dark seas of their dreams.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so Carlene Wilson, are you there? Carlene Wilson?
Sir, she said she's traveling home.
All right, so Carrie and Daly, go ahead for me, number 1.
And the trills, sorry, hold on, sir. The thing I wrote it. And the trills girls giggled and mustered around him and squirrel as they clutch and strash, and he blubbers away downhill with his patch pants falling and his tear splashed blush burns all the way as the Triumph sisters scream with buttons in their claws, and the bully brothers hoot after him his little nickname and his mother's shame and his father's wickedness with the loose, wild, barefoot woman of the hovels of the hills.
Okay, all right. Carrie Brown, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here, but I don't know what is happening. I'm seeing, where should I read, sir? Let me see. I'm only seeing 1, 2, and a part of 3. I don't know what's happening with my system. Sir?
Are you in the WhatsApp group? Are you in the WhatsApp?
Sir, I didn't receive a WhatsApp, so I'm not in the group.
All right.
I am not in it either.
Receive what?
I am not
All right, just
in
hold
the
on.
WhatsApp group either.
All right, there's no other way for me to share it, all right? Why do I see something else coming up? Ken Bailey, go ahead for me. Is this person new? I don't remember seeing this name. Is Ken Bailey new?
So were you the one that created the group?
Is Ken Bailey new? Can you answer my question, please?
Sorry, your question. Daily, I'm using somebody's device. I'm not able to pick up the class online.
Okay, and I'm not hearing you clear, so hold on.
Are you hearing me now?
I'm not hearing you. Your mic, the sound is very poor, so I can't hear you very clearly. Your sound very distant. So just hold on. I'm going to move on to someone else, okay? Sojel White, for me, where are we? Number 3? Go ahead for me, Sojel White. Number 3.
Are you hearing me now?
I'm not hearing you clear. That's why I said to hold on.
This is the horse and the hood and the horn that belonged to the farmer sowing his corn, that kept the cock that crowed in the morn, that woke the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumbled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built.
All right, thank you. Samoy, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Number 1 for me.
And the shrill girls giggle and muster around him and squeal as they clutch and thrash. And he blubbers away downhill with his patched pants falling, and his tears splashed, blush burns all the way, as the triumphant sisters scream with buttons in their claws, and the bully brothers hoot after him his little nickname and his mother's shame and his father's wickedness with the loose, wild, barefoot woman of the hovels of the hills.
All right. Oran, go ahead for me, number 2.
Good evening, sir.
I'm not hearing you so clearly.
Sorry about that, sir. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
I just joined. I'm not 100% sure what to do. Just
All right,
read
hold
this.
on then. Just hold on.
Okay.
You'll by the time we get to you again, you'll hear. And I'm not going to go through every single person. All right, so first of all, some of you are not pronouncing some of the words correctly, all right? So, for example, thrash, falling. Remember I told you about the ing, and the word is women, not women, women. So it is W-O, but it's pronounced W-I, women. Teeth, and the word is et. A-T-E is et, not eight, et. And the shrill girls giggle and muster around him and squeal as they clutch and thrash, and he blubbers away downhill, and his patched pants falling, and his tear-splashed blush burns all the way as the triumphant sisters scream with buttons in their claws, and the bully brothers hoot after him. His little nickname and his mother's shame and his father's wickedness with the loosed, wild, barefoot women of the hovels of the hills. Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the streets, in the slow, deep salt and silent black, bandaged night. Only you can see in the blinded bedrooms the corns and the petticoats over the chairs, the jugs and basins, the glasses of teeth, thou shalt not, on the wall, and the yellowing dicky bird watching pictures of the dead. Only you can hear and see behind the eyes of the sleepers, and the movements and countries and mazes and colors and dismays and rainbows and tunes and the wishes and the flight and the fall and despairs and the dark seas of their dreams. This is the horse and the hound and the horn that belonged to the farmer sowing his corn, that kept the cock that crowed in the morn, that woke the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tortured and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with a crumbled horn, that tossed the dog, worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. So one of the things that you have to decide is not just exercising the articulators, but what is the meaning behind the text and how should it be expressed emotionally? Do we understand that? Let's just say that you are reading something that is supposed to be sad, but you sound very excited. So that is something that you will have to decide. As I said before, this is just exercising your articulators, which means that you are not necessarily yet conscious of matching meaning with sound, or matching the meaning with the production of sound, or using the, based on the content or the words on the text, having the ability to articulate it as it should be. I hope I'm making sense. Is that clear?
Yes,
Did that
sir.
make sense to you guys?
Yes, sir.
So it's not just for now, all we're doing, we're reading. We're just exercising the articulators, and that's what we're going to look at next. In terms of the articulators, well, this is the same thing. Well, let's just go quickly to the articulators. All right, so if you look here, it's in the WhatsApp group. The organs of articulators. What are the organs of articulators?
Teeth,
The tongue,
tongue, teeth.
So the tongue, teeth, teeth ridge, alveolar ridge.
Hard
What else?
plate.
Palate. Look
Palate,
carefully.
sorry.
Soft palate.
Soft palate, volume, and
The
lips.
Right. So the activity that we're doing before is about exercising all of these, the articulators, and persons who, for example, have a lisp. A lisp can actually, you can actually overcome a lisp with a lot of training and exercise. All right. So the articulators are very, very important in terms of producing sounds. And if we go back a little to, no, why did I come out of it? Breathing, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. If we making sound speech, no, sorry, making speech sounds. So we see that there are three components. What are the three components in making speech sounds? It's in the WhatsApp group, people. You're not going to see all the information on the screen because what are the three components that are essential
An
in making speech
exciter,
sounds?
a vibrator,
An
and a
exciter.
resonator. A vibrator and a resonator.
All right, so these resonator, right? Very, very important to be conscious of these particular things. And I'm not sure if you know that for sorry, I think I was using my data on my computer in my office and it switched over because I'm home and I really should be using this service. All right. Right. So we were right there. So we see the vocal system that is involved in making speech sounds. So what specific organs are involved or make up the exciter?
The tongue.
All right, the information is in the WhatsApp. We'll just look at the page, please.
Sir, I'm not in the group.
I'm
The
not sure
vocal
why.
system.
So we're seeing for the exciter, what are they?
Vocal system.
No.
The vibrator and the resonator.
No. So for the exciter, we have the lungs and the respiratory muscles. You're not seeing that?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm just seeing it.
Yes. And for the vibrator?
The vocal folds.
Right. And for the resonator?
Throat, nose, mouth.
So we see, for example, that the vocal folds, what they do, they take in air and bringing it up back to make sound. And for the throat, nose, and mouth, those are really the oral cavities. So all the oral cavities make up the resonators. And another group of persons or another set of professionals who must understand the use of these things are singers. They must understand how to use the exciter, vibrator, and resonator to produce speech sounds or to sing. Who can you think of who are some of the best singers for you in terms of when they're singing, you actually don't hear them breathing? I'm not sure if you have ever been conscious of, like singers who they have a very wide range in terms of voice, and you actually don't hear them when they take a breath when they are singing. Can you think of any examples?
John Legend.
John Legend.
Celine Dion.
Whitney
Celine Dion,
Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Kevin Downsell.
I don't know who the hell that is, but I guess Kevin Downsell.
Really,
You
sir?
don't know that-
You don't
Yeah,
know Kevin Downsell?
what wrong with you?
Who's
Who
Kevin
don't know
Downsell?
Kevin
He's a
Downsell?
gospel artist.
That's what?
He's a gospel
that-
artist.
Oh Lord. Oh, it's gospel.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Get the gist.
a-religious. I'm a-religious, so I would not know any gospel. Well, I know the American gospel artists. So my gospel artist who I listen to, but I'm a-religious, is Yolanda Adams. I thought somebody would have mentioned Yolanda Adams. She's one of the
Yes,
very,
sir. She's
very,
good
very,
as well.
very, very good in terms of breathing, in terms of how she uses her articulators. Another one would be Tessanchin is very, very good. Tessanchin is very, very, very good. As well as Patti LaBelle, although I think she screams too much. I think she screams a little bit too much. Tasha Cobbs. Anybody know who is Tasha Cobbs? Is that a singer?
Sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
sir.
She's a what?
International.
gospel artist as well.
Oh, she's a gospel artist. Oh, I have a class
Yes,
of
sir.
Christians. Oh Lord. My apologies.
What
I,
Sir,
about
but she's
that part,
overseas
sir?
as well.
So, sir, oh, you don't know no Christian artist at Jamaica.
well, I was talking about actual singing. So I don't know that we have any local singing. They tend to kind of be what is called sing J. So it's a kind of
Oh.
mixture between singing and
And you have
DJing.
Jermaine Edwards too, sir. I think he's a pretty good gospel artist as well.
Well, remember we're
And
talking
Rondell
about
Positive.
we're talking about singing.
about the singing, yes, sir.
All right, if you say so. I agree with you. I don't know who these persons are.
And Dalton Harris. With the
And
extra.
hold on,
Okay.
go to feel the vibration. All right, so let me give you a simple exercise where you can feel the vibrator. So I want for you to put your finger at your throat. Put a finger at your throat and call the word this. It just go this and tell me if you feel any vibration.
I did, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this, that, them, those, versus call this other word now and tell me if you feel any vibration. Breath. Breath. Feel any breath? Do you feel any vibration at the end of the speech sound? Breath.
Sir, not at the end.
Right.
No, sir.
Bathe.
Sir?
Bathe. Do we feel any vibration at the end of the word? Bathe.
No, sir.
No,
Right.
sir.
So
Sir, so
the
you don't feel it with the TH?
no, it's not that you don't feel it with the TH. So you have some TH sounds that are voiced, which means that the vocal folds vibrate. So you feel that, and you feel it at the throat, and the ones that don't, it is called voiceless, like the breath, the bathe. But if you say this and that and them, this is why understanding how to pronounce words is important, because if, for example, it is supposed to be a voiced word, but you pronounce it as a voiceless word, something is wrong. It means that you don't understand the pronunciation of the word. So this versus breath, TH, both having the TH sounds, but one being voice, which is this, and one being voiceless. All right. And this is important, especially in terms of articulation, because the organs of articulation are used to produce or connect sounds. They allow us to connect sounds. So when you say breath, breath, where does your tongue end up? Breath, at the end of the sound. Breath.
Between your teeth.
Your front teeth, right?
Your front teeth, right.
Right, breath. As opposed to this. Where does the TH sound, where is the TH sound made? this, this, this. Where's the sound made in terms of the articulators? This.
Teeth and tongue.
Teeth and tongue, right. All right, so it's important for us to understand where to place or which particular articulators make certain sounds, and that will actually help us, especially persons who are learning English as a second language. They especially have to understand that. All right. Continuing, now we're going to look at a kind of biological, some of this, why am I coming out of this? The biological, looking at what I call a biological diagram of, why do I think I'm going back? I am going back. Here it is. Let me just click on it. All right, so places of articulation. You're seeing the diagram? I can't increase, right? I can't increase the size. Why did I do that? Where is it? Oh, right. So usually they put this on some kind of mid-semester test, and I think we have stopped putting it on the mid-semester test because really you don't need to necessarily know the biological terms. You just really know how to produce clear sounds, speech sounds. So this is just a kind of what I call a biological diagram of the articulators or places of articulation where certain sounds are made. All right, you're not getting a test on this, at least not from me. I'm not putting this on any test. You're not biology students. They used to normally give the students this, and I think it's absolute madness. All right, the other thing now, okay, vowels and consonants, and in terms of, so vowels, a vowel is an uninterrupted passage of air leaving the lungs, passing through the vocal folds and then through the resonators. So A, E, notice that there's no interruption. So it's not like begging where there's an interruption because there's two syllables. Begging, so A, E, I, notice there's no interruption. O, U. All right, so for the consonant now, a consonant is a complete or partial interruption of the outgoing breath. Can you tell me which consonant letters would have a partial interruption in there when we call them? Let me see if you're thinking. Remember now, consonant.
W.
Thank you. W. W. Notice that it's not like A, which is one sound, an uninterrupted sound, but like W. Is there any other? I think it's the only one. I kind of run through the alphabet in my head. I can't think of another one. Can't think of another one. All right, so that's just basic information for you to know. I'm not going to get into, right, okay. All right, so let me give you some examples of, all right, so can you tell me if this word is voiced or unvoiced? Bat.
Bat.
Bat, B-A-T, bat. Is it voiced or unvoiced? Bat, bat.
Unvoiced?
I didn't hear that.
I was saying unvoiced.
All right, so one person said unvoiced or voiceless. What say everybody else? Bat.
But because even when I pronounce it, it sounds quiet, like
boo,
it
boo.
Voice, sir. You hear the T at the end.
But the B sound is voiced versus like pat. All right, but we don't need to get into, we're just going through the basics of these things. I can't Usually in this course, we're supposed to teach you how to spell the words using the phonetic symbols, but I think that's a little bit too much. So let's not go that route. Are you? No, I'm not going to teach you that. Not going to teach you that. Not going to teach you that. Not teaching you the using the. All right, yes. So this one I'm going to share. Hold on. What I'm going to share now has all the sounds in the English language. All right, for the persons who are not in the WhatsApp group, can you share the WhatsApp group link first quickly so that all persons can be there? Let me know when you have joined the WhatsApp group so we can proceed. Because this information I'm not going to share via email. It's actually not, it's not the college's information. It comes from my own training as a public speaker.
But who has the link, sir? Because anyway.
Say that again?
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
Never mind, sir. Never mind, sir. I got the link. Thanks.
Okay.
JJ could have shared a link long time. Thank
Hello.
you.
No again in my class.
My internet was gone and it just came back.
Thank you, dear.
All right, so I'm going to share something in the WhatsApp group, and what I want, this it looks a little bit fuzzy though. I don't know that you can hold on. I think it looks a little bit fuzzy. The quality is not what it should be. Let me take another one because I don't want. This one should be much better. Hallelujah. So I'm going to share it in the WhatsApp group. You are going to, before you say anything, you're going to read it, get the proper pronunciation before.
Sir?
Yes?
Sorry to interject, but do you, are you the administrator for the WhatsApp group?
I am one of the administrators and I'm not adding any students. I'm not taking on that administrative role. So another student who is the administrator will take on all of that responsibility. So I'm not adding and taking away anybody out of any group. I'm admin because of the purposes that I will add information and I need to do certain things. But in terms of adding people, once they share the link, all you need to do is to click on the link and you join the group. It's right there in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, it's in the chat. And I'm not so techno savvy to add and take away people. I don't really know those things. All right, are you seeing what I shared in the group? Tell me if you're seeing what I shared in the group.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me paper. Oh, all right, so I want for you to, and please, a while ago, I asked persons to take some time out and read the thing. And when they started reading, I was hearing all kinds of pronunciations. Please read it, go through it, pay attention to some of the sounds. If you're not sure how to pronounce a particular word or phrase, Google pronounce it. And then most of the persons who did not read originally are going to read now. All right. So please take 5 minutes, go through it. There's number 1 and there's number 2. And then I'm going to choose some persons, especially persons who did not read in the first instance, to read this. All right. And as it says, the following drills contain all the sounds in the English language. So 5 minutes. And then I'm going to select persons to read.
Can you check on the marketing grade for me, please? Is the marketing grade did post?
Carlene, can you hand over host to me, please? Hand back host to me. I hope you know how to do that. Carlene, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm not sure how to do it because I'm using my phone.
Just go to your name and click to, you're gonna click on your name.
Yeah.
And then you should see, I'm trying to see how you, right. You should see more. I hope you can see this. Where your name is, you should be able to see like mute or more. And then you're going to see make host.
Sir, I'm not seeing that.
All right, log out and log back in for me because it's going to switch host then. Log out and log back in.
All right, sir.
Yep, right. Right. Sarita, do you know how to do it? Because it gave you host.
Let me try, sir.
Yeah. See.
Down more.
Yes, and you should see something about make
Are
host.
you gonna say I post now?
Oh, I'm host now. Thanks. Good.
Okay.
Right. Thanks. So correct H. Did I do H? I'm not sure if I did H. All right, are you ready now? All right, so Oran, you're going to start us off.
Okay. All right. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He is immortal, not because he alone are among creatures.
I didn't see the word R.
Sir?
I didn't see the word R. I'm not seeing that word. So go from he is immortal.
He is immortal, not because he alone among creatures.
Other creatures.
Oh, other creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. The poet's, the writer's duty is to write about these things. It is his privilege to help man endure by lifting his heart, by reminding him of his courage and honor and hope and pride and compassion and pity and sacrifice, which have always been the glory of his past. The poet's voice need not merely be the record of man. It is his, it can be one of his props, the pillar to help him endure and prevail.
All right, so you need to be able to read your words carefully, all right? Or be able to read the words ahead before pronouncing them. Because there are some words that you're adding and taking away words. So the ability to read ahead, very, very critical. Thanks, Oran. Let's ask Junior, are you there? Give me 1 sec. Sorry, I had to take that call. A colleague, I asked her to speak on behalf of the college on Miss Kitty Live about the international travel opportunities. I hope you guys are aware of the international travel opportunities and if possible, trying to see how best you can get to either do an international internship or spend a semester in Canada or 2 semesters in Canada, go on the cultural exchange, work and travel as it is called. Anybody has ever made an attempt?
No, sir.
Sir, can you do that if you are full-time employed?
How them are going to say full-time employee? They just tell them they're not working. How them are going to know that?
Okay.
They can't know that. And I don't think they care because the qualification is just for you to be enrolled. And even though you guys are quote unquote part-time, you are really full-time because you really do an extra semester, which is the summer.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so you guys should make use of the opportunity to, especially if you have never traveled and you want one little piece of visa, yeah, make use of the opportunity to.
So, sir, how you go about doing that now?
I just spoke to Mrs. Gowie Phillips. Let me post the contact details in the chat for you.
Okay.
So one, let me give you the email first. International. Yes, so here it is. Copy. So this is the email address, but I'm sure there is they have business. Let me ask her about the WhatsApp number, because they should have a WhatsApp number. Let me call her, ask her. Let's spoke to her. All right, hold on. I'm just remembering something that she had done a presentation and some numbers were shared. So let me find that and share it to you guys. So you were not aware about the international opportunities that are available to our students? You were not aware of that?
No, sir.
Sir, only hear it from other past
Awesome.
students.
How is that possible? All right, you see, and I tell her to. You see, the problem is that sometimes when they do the things, it happens most times in the day. So evening students and weekend students don't get a chance. And it's really unfortunate that, all right, so I'm going to share a screen so that I can write down the information. All right, let me share a screen. Right, I think she has it here. Right, here is the, are you seeing it? Let me just bring it up a little bigger. Telephone number and the extension. So these are cell numbers and then their office extensions. Let me know when you're finished writing it down. Make use of it, people. These are travel opportunities. You guys could use your leave or whatever to go to travel.
I could do that. I have enough leave.
Yep.
3 months leave.
You have 3 months leave. This is a perfect
Same here.
yes, you could go. So you use some of it to do your exams and then the rest to go overseas. Go and work. The first time I traveled was because I went on the same work and travel program when I was a student at UA. Other than that, I probably would not have known. I wouldn't have gone on a plane. Where's my, oh, using it for that. Finish?
Yes, sir. We'll just take a picture.
Yes,
Oh, you
sir.
did? Okay, all right. So we had one person reading. Let me just go back to the, I know I shared it in the WhatsApp group, right? So it would have been one of these. And we have some other activities in terms of tongue twisters and stuff like that. It's a Lorian Harper, go ahead for me, Miss Harper.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead for me.
which one I'm reading, number 1 or?
Number 1.
Oh. Hold on, sir, because it kind of look blurry, you know. All right, so
I sent you 2, so the one that is less blurry.
All right, so I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He is immortal, not because he alone among, what is there? Among other creatures has an exhaustible voice.
I didn't hear
Inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. The poet, the writer's duty is to write about these things. It is his privilege to help man endure by lifting his heart, by reminding him of the courage and honor and hope that pride and compassion and pity and sacrifice, which have always been the glory of the past. The poet's voice need not merely to merely be the record of man.
The word is record. The word is record.
Record.
No, you're calling it too slowly. It's not record, it's record.
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 So the R is silent.
Yes, it's record.
Okay. Record of man. It can be one of the props, the pillars to help him endure and prevail.
All right, so how do we pronounce the word M-O-T-H-E-R?
Mother.
No, that's not how you pronounce it.
Mother.
Mother, thank you. Mother. The ending is what is called a schwa. It's mother. The same thing for father, sister, brother, doctor. So this is pillars, not pillars, pillars. The ending it is what is called a schwa. All right, so that's how you pronounce it. It's mother, not like what they teach them in basic school and primary school. Say mother and father and sister and brother. They're actually fossilizing this is why sometimes our students are unable to correct themselves because the teachers at the lower level have fossilized the incorrect pronunciations or even spellings of certain words. All right, that was Lishana, go ahead for me, Lishana.
So start from the top.
I, yes, I
believe
Hold
that.
on, that sounds like you said hi.
I believe that. Hold on, it kind of blurred to me. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. Prevail.
Prevail. Mm-hmm.
He is immortal, not because he alone among. So it kind of blurred. I don't know why it looks.
Use the one that is less blurry. I sent 2.
Oh.
Go again from I believe.
Okay, sir. I'm using the screen share, the one that's you share on the screen, sir.
No,
That's
no, no.
why.
You're supposed to use the one on your phone. I sent
Oh,
it in
in
the
the
WhatsApp
chat?
group. Yes, I
Oh,
sent it in the WhatsApp group.
okay, sir, because I'm using my phone. I mean, what's that, bro?
You're just finding out if you're in the WhatsApp group, Lorianne?
Sir,
Yes?
you call my name?
No, not Lorianne. That person I was talking to. Isn't it
Okay.
No, it's not Lorianne. Who was I talking to a while ago?
Me, sir, Lishana. So
Right,
I'm not
Lishana.
in the WhatsApp group. Can somebody send me the link, sir? And
The
then
link is in the chat. What is wrong with... Where have you been?
Sir, I'm not seeing because sometimes I get bones.
But I'm saying from the day one when we said about the WhatsApp group, and I said all persons were not a part. You didn't hear that part? You didn't hear when I said that?
Sir, no, because I was maybe on my way home then.
Okay, all right. So can the person reshare the link to the WhatsApp? Because they have homework, and the information being shared, because what is going to, this is for homework because I'm going to end 10 minutes to the hour. This is what you're going to do for me for homework, everybody. You are going to choose either 1, 2, or 3 and record yourself and upload it to your YouTube channel. And then you're going to choose, then everyone has to do number 1 for this one. So the first one was, you either read 1, 2, or 3, and the second one is what you're all reading now. That talks about all the sounds in the English language. Let me understand tell me if that's clear to everyone.
So sir, you said everyone should do number 1, and then for homework with 1, 2, or 3.
Right, which is a previous, it's let me just find it. Let me show you in the, so everyone is doing this one that is on the screen that says, I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail, he is immortal, not because he alone among other creatures has an inexhaustible voice. You're going to do that one. That's compulsory for everybody. So remember now, you have to upload it to your YouTube channel, and then you share the YouTube channel, the link in the chat, and then I will go there and make my comments. All right. Then now you're going to do one of the 3. So this is 2, 3, and this is 1. So you're going to do either number 1, number 2, or number 3. So everybody has 2 speeches to make. So you're creating 2 videos and you're going to upload it to your YouTube channel. You can use I prefer if you use your school email to create the WhatsApp, to create the YouTube channel, because there are certain copyright, they tend not to be so hard and fast with the copyright. When it's your YouTube, when the YouTube channel is your school email, once you indicate as such, all right, so that I can look at your speech on my own time, because some persons are not going to be able to participate in this forum. This part of the course is a lot of talking, understanding breathing, and understanding how the articulators work in producing sound. And then when we move on a little bit to tongue twisters, again, that is important, especially for persons who have a lisp. You kind of use tongue twisters now to kind of further exercise the articulators and work on particular sounds that you have difficulty pronouncing. All right. So remember now to create your YouTube channel and upload number 1 and 1 of these 3. All right, I'm going to pause for now because I have a class at 7, and usually we end 10 minutes to the hour. It's now 7 minutes to the hour, and then I teach for another 2 hours. All right, are there any questions, queries, concerns?
Mr. Clark.
Yes.
Could you send those ones I'm looking at on your screen right now? Could you just forward them back to the WhatsApp group?
Can somebody just reshare them in the WhatsApp? Georgette, can you do that for me? Georgette is going to be your class rep. She's very efficient in terms of assisting. Georgette, can you do that for me? Just reshare in the WhatsApp group. Thanks, please and thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right, so she's going to reshare.
Sir, is that we should video ourselves or just make a recording?
Well, you can make a recording or if you want to make a video, but just ensure that I'm able to hear. So if you don't want to show yourself, for now, that's okay. But if you want to just record it and upload it to YouTube, no problem. But I will get in the habit of recording myself because for the final project, especially, which you're going to do a kind of a podcast or a talk show, you have to show yourself. All right, give me 1 sec. The person about the international opportunities is calling back. Don't log out yet. I have a question I want to ask her to. Yes, so the international travel opportunities are extended to you guys. All right. So I recommend what she's going to do, she's going to pass. Oh, I gave you some information so you can reach out to the office and she's going to do some additional prepare some kind of what I call fact sheets and a promo video and we'll share it with you as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Sir.
Yes. All right. So have a good night, everybody. Remember to reach out to the office quickly because I know for some persons you need to kind of start organizing your leave and things like that. All right.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Have a good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sir.